Boy, was that a shameful act for him to commit tonight. To go up on stage and slap Chris Rock like that, he's lucky he didn't get his ass kicked, particularly after the event was over. If not by Chris Rock, to the fellas he had there with him. I mean, damn.
Start smacking on public TV like Will.
I slap got you like Will Smith.
And April Jones, I can't wait to see you in the... Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
So by now, everybody's heard about the slap. Even if you didn't know about the Oscars happening in the first place, you know what went down. But today we got an exclusive look at how rappers are reacting to the whole thing. And everybody has an opinion. I mean, everybody, from Rich Brian to Snoop Dogg, had something to say. Some people sided with Will, some people with Chris Rock, and some people even just condemned the whole thing. Regardless of how they felt about it though, everybody was entertained. Just a quick rundown on exactly what happened. Chris Rock was up on stage doing his thing and he decided to make a joke about Will's wife, Jada Pinkett-Smith. He commented that since her head was shaved, he could tell she was ready for her role in G.I. Jane 2. Will didn't take very kindly to that. He was laughing at first, but then he turned around to see Jada's face frozen in embarrassment. It was then that he got up, walked on stage, and reeled back. He slapped the living daylights out of Chris Rock. And if you look closely, you could see that Rock had his hand balled up while he was deciding whether or not he wanted to swing back. Then Will walked back to his seat and shouted at Chris Rock, saying,
"Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth!"
Chris Rock took a few seconds to compose himself to think through what had just happened before he said,
"Okay."
When he had to put himself back together, he just looked at the camera and exclaimed,
"Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me."
Unfortunately, a lot of the live feed glitched out for American audiences, but everybody's seen the full clip by now. Just a little bit of background that might be important for a few reasons here. Jada isn't exactly bald by choice. She had a very public struggle with alopecia, and that's led to her hair loss. It would seem that Chris Rock might not have actually known what was up, since he clarifies to Will it was a G.I. Jane joke. Either way, the joke didn't sit right with the Smiths, but if he didn't know, he didn't know. There's also the fact that he's just a little sneak peek behind the curtain. Comedians don't really write their own jokes for these kinds of things. Pretty much any award show you've ever watched has a small room of writers you've probably never heard of unless you're really into comedy behind the scenes. That just makes the whole situation so much crazier. After the whole thing happened, you could see Denzel Washington and Tyler Perry rush over to console Will Smith about it. One would think that they probably should have gone to check out Chris Rock since he just got his soul slapped out of his body in front of the entire world, but that's not the case. Chris Rock also kind of noticeably struggles with his hosting duties for the rest of the show. It's not that he's doing a bad job, just that you could tell he's shaken and not on his A game. Apparently, one of the big things that Denzel said to Will was, "At your highest moment, be careful. That's when the devil comes for you." Denzel and Will have always had a good relationship. Will thinks of him as something as a mentor. He spoke on a conversation he had with Denzel about winning a Screen Actors Guild Award, saying, "We spent a lot of time together, so we've been talking. He's always been a mentor for me." And he grabbed me and he said, "This is your year." He just hugged me saying, "So happy for you. Just love who you're becoming." He knew me years ago. I would go to Denzel for advice, so he's seen me through the years. And he was just telling me how proud he is of who I've become and what I've become. He was saying that he felt like a weight was lifted off his shoulders somehow. The entire internet freaked out pretty much immediately. From hot takes to memes, everybody was bearing their souls about what the slap made them feel. Maybe some of the biggest reactions were from comedians, who now started to wonder what was allowed and what wasn't. One said, "I literally never watch award shows, but if it was guaranteed that an A-list celebrity would slap another celebrity at some point during the show, I would watch all of them from front to back." Another fan said, "The most fascinating thing about the slap is that Will Smith literally has so much money that he had the gall to slap another A-list celebrity on live television with little thought about their legal repercussions. That is the definition of having f*** you money." The discourse going around also brings up a few questions. A lot of people have pointed out that the ratings on award shows have been steadily declining for years. They used to be huge and pulling tons of views, but that really hasn't been the case for years. Of course, stuff like this just happens occasionally because celebrities aren't perfect, but at the same time, a lot of this stuff tends to happen at really opportune times. There was the Janet Jackson Super Bowl wardrobe malfunction, the Kanye West Mike Steele incident, and now this in recent memory. All this together had been leading some people to question whether or not the slap was even real. The whole thing could have been staged, but it's really unlikely. There are a number of memes going around about the incident that would make you think there's pretty hard evidence, but a lot of them have been proven to be fake. I mean, even the image going around with a bunch of celebrities' reactions is fake. That's actually just a picture of a bunch of celebrities being confused when the wrong movie was read for Best Picture category a few years back. The other big fake going around is a picture of Chris Rock apparently wearing a cheek pad. The photo has been digitally manipulated though. Even if they did fake it, they probably would have just let Rock actually get slapped rather than leaving the room for it to look fake. Now let's get into what our favorite rappers had to say about the whole thing. 50 Cent seems like he thought it was pretty funny, saying, "You have to win Oscars to do this kind of shit. After I win, I'm gonna slap the shit out of a few people." Ty Dolla $ign said, "Here comes the Men in Black." Diddy himself even popped in to say, "Move on with love, love." Ice-T said, "The effing Oscars got more hood than my effing concert last night." Rich Brian was just excited to see something going on at an award show, saying, "It's been a minute since some crazy shit happened at an award show. I feel like it's 2014 all over again." Snoop Dogg was asked if he thought it was staged in an interview after the show, and he responded by saying,
"Sorta, kinda, but I never know."
To be honest though, it seemed like he was more unbothered by the whole thing than most people. He was a lot more concerned with all the famous people he got to meet while he was at the award show. Nicki Minaj in particular had a lot to say what went down. "I love Chris Rock. I don't think he would have made that joke had he had known that Jada recently shared, but between him and the whole team at the Oscars, you mean to tell me not one of y'all's heard this woman's just share this heartbreaking story? Come on, son." Here's the thing, and this is such an amazing, eye-opening example of it. The husband gets a front row seat to his wife's pain. He's the one consoling her, drying her tears behind closed doors when those cameras go off. Social media has made people feel that these husbands won't ever run into them in real life. You just gotta witness in real time what happens in a man's soul when he looks over to the woman he loves and sees her holding back tears from a little joke at her expense. This is what any and every real man feels in that instant. While y'all seeing the joke, he's seeing her pain. Imagine what it must feel like to be losing your hair to the point where you have to shave it bald. You think that's easy to deal with for anyone? You don't think she's cried about that many times? 2022, y'all gonna have to see these men about those jokes you made about their wives. Some basketball players also commented on the whole thing. Steph Curry tweeted, "Like everybody, I'm still in shock about the whole thing. But in all the unnecessary drama, at least we got the line from the night from Denzel. In your highest moments, be careful, that's when the devil comes for you." Miles Bridges said, "Why the first thing I see after our game is Will smacking the out of Chris Rock." While she brings up a bunch of really good points, it's also a very complicated situation. Will Smith has always been seen as one of the most wholesome actors in Hollywood. That's how it's been for a long time. I'm not going to get into their relationship or anything like that, but this kind of breaks that illusion. Your celebrity heroes might not be who you think they are. I'm not saying that's the case for Will Smith, but that's just what it is. Fans have had so many opinions. We got to get a few more in here real quick. One fan joked, "What the hell does Will Smith resigning from the Academy mean? They turning off his work email or something?" Another fan defended the way Chris Rock carried himself, saying, "I have to say, I never cared too much about Chris Rock's acting, but after that, I have a lot of respect for him not throwing down. This man could have taken the Will Smith low road, but stood there like a real man." A lot of people are quick to try to justify the whole thing by saying Will was in the right here. That's an oversimplification though. I totally get that you go and fight someone for your significant other, and that's important. At the same time though, pick and choose your battles. Since the joke probably wasn't even written by Chris Rock, what's the point? What if he actually just didn't know what was up? What do y'all think about this though? Was Chris Rock out of pocket here, or was Will completely within his rights to haul off and slap the life out of Chris? Let us know what you think down below in the comments. Oh, and don't forget to keep it RIZZLE. If you like this story, you're for sure gonna want to check out this next one.